I did 43 years in the Foreign Service. I did Asia, I did Middle East, a lot of Europe, national security, and then 3.5 years in America. And what strikes me as I look at the world now is that we are living in the most turbulent and potentially dangerous times of my lifetime, certainly of my diplomatic career. We're living in the age of uncertainty, we're living in the age of chaos, and it's very difficult in those circumstances. Businesses, I know, they like consistency, predictability, stability, continuity. Forget all about that. That's not the way the world is nowadays. And as a business, you now need resilience, and you need to think ahead and anticipate problems and anticipate uncertainty and just learn to cope with it. I did 40 odd years in the Foreign Service as a diplomat. People think diplomats go from gilded chambers to conference rooms to cocktail parties. I did a bit of that, I must confess, but I also spent a lot of time visiting war zones, sleeping in porter cabins, traveling to parts of the world where you had an armed escort, war zones, failed states, and diplomacy has its glamorous parts, but also it's really quite stressful and risky parts, which are anything but, gilded chambers. So diplomats don't spend their whole lives at cocktail parties. The other thing about it is most people think diplomats came from privileged backgrounds and went to Oxbridge and then straight into the Foreign Service. I came from a single parent family. I was brought up part of my youth in a council flat. I didn't go to Oxford or Cambridge, and I joined the Foreign Office initially in the slow stream and then managed to advance while I was in there. So it wasn't a characteristic imagined sort of golden progress to the top at all. It is the view that somehow everything is planned and programmed and following some sort of path that governments plotted. Honestly, the cock-up theory of life prevails much more over than the conspiracy theory of life, and most of being in government is reacting, I'm afraid, to events, not carrying through the strategies you've plotted and planned in advance. So it's much more chaotic and uncertain than people expect.